I have a link that was emailed to me by our instructor lecturer, and I just connect via that way into Moodle. Everything runs on wireless in our house, so we just sort of have set up in one room and then everyone runs off that. But it's quite quick and I have really good access.
Would you have undertaken this course if it wasn't available online?
Probably not. With my hours, there's no way for me to be able to go to an actual class, whereas if I do everything out of hours and in the evenings, it's much easier.
I know Deborah has structured times. Are you able to access the resources and so on outside of those times? What do you prefer, structured or combination of both? Or?
Oh, a combination of both, but like I said, the fact that it's on in the evenings is much easier for me because I can still get everything done, get the family fed, and then sit down and do what I have to do.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, rate how satisfying, beneficial the course has been.
4.
Good. Okay. So how would you improve it? What's that extra point?
I have to say I would have preferred maybe another wet lab.
Right.
We've had 2 on-site, some classes going down to Melbourne to be at Hallam there, but I think I would have preferred maybe one more would have been really good.
So there's still nothing better than actual hands-on.
Well, there's a lot of hands-on at work anyway, so whatever we learn, you have to be able to do it here at work. So here at the veterinary hospital, I'm able to do all the things that I've been taught and then some. But at the same time, I think going in and doing one-on-one with the actual lecturer, with David, it's been quite helpful.
Yep. And the videos that Deborah's created, how have you found those?
They're actually really good to look back. I was watching one the other night and I'd actually forgotten some of the things that we'd said or done because you take as many notes as you can and you try and remember as much as you can because we take photos as well. But to see it all again live, the way it was happening at the time, it's really quite interesting. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So it was actually very helpful.
Good. I was actually very impressed with Deborah because, she just seemed to get all the detail. And I thought if I was a student, she's giving me all the information I need. But as you say, I can imagine being in there with David's class being probably the most valuable thing you could be doing.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, that's what you're there to do. And then you wait a minute and then just see how pink it is.
Okay.
And sometimes it's worth wearing gloves because otherwise you might end up with plaque disclosing solution all over your hands. I learned that because when we did the Royal Canin studies, the first time we did them I didn't have gloves. And I got back to the airport and my hands were all bright pink.
Well, the other thing is too, there's a lot of things we can't do in our little hospitals because we don't have the access to, like making the models of the dog's mouth and things like that. So be able to do hands-on stuff like that was really helpful and very interesting because I had no idea how that sort of thing worked.
I know you're one of the few people who actually uploaded some video content.
I put it onto YouTube and then I just sent Deb and David the links.
Yes.
And it's not just 2-minute snippets, it's a 17-minute video and it's got everything in there. It's got my photographic evidence as well as a couple of little videos here and there.
Has doing this online given you more flexibility in terms of time, place and methods in terms of the way you study?
Oh, I think it has, but I find doing it online, I find it a lot better. I feel like I'm still connected to all my classmates and I can chat to David even though whether it be with microphone or just with keying in the questions. But hearing him every week, I still feel like I'm attending a class and I've found it really beneficial.
Yeah, excellent. All right, have you got anything else to add?
It would be a shame if this didn't continue because I think it's an excellent course and clearly it's a steep learning curve for David and Deborah and all of the nurses, and some of them unfortunately can't actually do a lot of things we're being taught, but it's still really good to have that knowledge. But I think it would be very sad if it didn't continue because I know that I've already inspired a few of the younger nurses to want to branch out in their own little areas, and some of them are actually talking about dentistry as well. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it would be sad if it disappears already.